All right, so you've done commercials, but I feel like your real life, particularly when it comes to the NBA and experiences that you had with the Clippers, I mean, stuff that you can't even imagine. You've been a part of some very wild viral moments, particularly when the NBA was coming into, and I think when we all were coming into the enlightenment of social media, whether that was like the night spent with DeAndre Jordan in lockdown.
And Paul Pierce, he was there too, right?
Paul was there. Yeah, that's right. He didn't know how emojis worked. That was the big thing.
That's old head status right there.
He posted like a thing of like clip art. And we were all doing this emoji.
It was like a boat, wasn't it, or something?
It was like a rocket ship, and it had like the flames, like the animated flames. You're like, all right, well, he kind of.
He's trying.
Yeah, he kind of.
Nice try, Paul.
What is as of now, your favorite NBA moment, something off the court that you will always remember, a story you will always tell?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, that's one of them. That's a question I get asked about a lot.
You're really not feeding our egos with that. I get asked this a lot.
That's an everyday question, Abby.
Well, that was like a huge moment. That was like peak.
You get asked about that.
Yeah, about
a lot. Yeah, that was peak NBA. That was like, but the beginning.
That might have birthed NBA Twitter.
Yeah. That was a wild experience.
You showed restraint, not telling him to.
I don't know.
Post certain things.
Can we dive into that though?
Sure.
I mean, since it's right here for us to take right now. For everyone who doesn't know, DeAndre Jordan, back in the day, he was going to leave.
During free agency.
He was going to leave Lob City. He was going to go to Dallas. But in the middle of the night, the Clippers went down with their crew. Who was it? It was you.
Me, CP, Chris Ball, JJ Redick, and Paul.
And Doc. He was there too, right? Yep. And so they went in and they basically like locked the doors in DeAndre Jordan's house.
The real story is not quite that exciting.
Tell us.
And you were with him all the night before too, right?
So he decides to go to Dallas, and I'm happy for him. Then Sunday, he's like, "Do you think I made the right decision?" This is 2 days later. He's like, "You think I made the right decision?" I was like, "Oh boy,
here we go."
And I was like, "Man, I honestly can't tell you that. If you're happy, I'm happy." You know, it's weird when a teammate leaves. Because you like, he was one of my best friends. Like, I want him to be happy. If he wanted to leave, you know, I don't want to sit there and be like, no, come back, you know, and put that like.
If you ask me though, him sending you that text is basically asking him.
It was a cry for help.
Yeah. He'll ever ask you like, am I making the right decision?
We love someone though. You have to let them go.
I knew that, but I still didn't want to like, you know, do too much. Doc Rivers called me the next day and he was like, I think DJ wants to come back. And I was like, all right. And then I get a text like, can you be on a flight in an hour and a half? I was like, sure. So I go to the airport. I actually like, I don't know how they did this, but they got somebody to drive me on one of the carts. Like, I got through security, drove on a cart like all the way up to the gate. They were holding the plane, got on the plane, flew to Houston, and they were like, all right, go to his house.
It wasn't a private jet?
No.
Commercial?
That?
Wait, are you serious?
No.
It was commercial?
Well, it was so last minute. It was just whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I got some peanuts. It was good.
Little feet though, right? I mean, that was.
No. It was like one of those small planes, so I was just like sitting there like this.
Was it just you, or was it the whole crew that was?
No, it was just me. So I went to his house. We like had dinner, and the whole time Mark Cuban was like calling him. And you know, at this point he had made up his mind, I think.
But he was not going to Dallas.
Right. So then Doc, Paul, CP, JJ flying the next day. So I stayed the night at his house. Went to the hotel, met with them. They're like, all right, here's the game plan. I'm like, guys, it's already coming.
It's cool. It's all good.
So we go over there, we pitch him, and he's like, all right, well, I want to come back. And Doc goes, all right, well, we're not leaving until you can sign. He could sign that night at midnight. It's like 2 p.m. And we're just like, we kind of laugh like he's kidding. And he's like, I'm serious. I'm like, all right, well, settle in.
Somebody order some food.
We watched like Shallow Hal. Good movie. We did order food.
This group of people like sitting on the couch and like
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Passing the
Paul was like, hey, let's play cards. We were like, all right, play cards. So we're just hanging out. He finally signs. Then we get on Ballmer's plane and fly back to LA. DJ went on vacation with his family, and NBA Twitter was on fire.
At least you got private on.
I would say you got private on the way back.
I know it's some nice little perks.
What's Ballmer's plane like? Like a F-37?
No, like a. I was about to say a normal private. You guys know private plane. It was just like, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. It was nice. He had a bed in the back. He was like, all right, I'm gonna go lie down. All right, cool. See you, man.
Gonna go to the restaurant in the back of the plane.
But yeah, we got it done. That's the real story.
So thank you for clarifying the real story. You guys didn't have to like lock him in handcuffs and like keep him from running out.
Well, so I'm actually probably responsible for this because everybody's like, they're not letting DeAndre leave. And then it was over by this time and I'm bored. And so I went to his front door and took a chair and put it and took a picture and put it on Twitter. And I was like, I think I said like, I don't agree with the furniture layout, but whatever. And so then people were like, oh my God, they're really barricading themselves in here. The rest of the day was just me trying to think of funny tweets to send out.
Just
that's
trying
fun too.
No, it was fun, except just like being in a house for 12 hours.
When you know you can control.
In the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ruined my summer, man.
It was Texas, though. It was hot, I'm sure.
Yeah, Houston. Yeah.
Working on that notes folder.
Based off of tonight, I know what it feels like to just control NBA Twitter at your fingertips. Everyone is so riled up over
there. Gotta start firing off more hot takes.
I might have another hot take later tonight.
Oh boy.
Yeah, don't encourage him.
Yeah. That summer was the summer that Paul joined you guys, right?
I believe he had already been with us a year.
So what was it like playing with Paul Pierce at the end of his career?
It was great, man. He is hilarious. Super talented, and just like his stories, over the years are incredible. But
mostly probably about KG.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly his time in Boston.
And Eddie House, who's in the house.
Oh yeah, Eddie. Shout out Eddie. Where is he?
KG and Eddie.
Yeah, he had great stories, but part of that was just like hearing about how they were as a team, and you learn from guys like that. So that was really cool for me, hearing the stories about these guys and the championship run, and then obviously the other years where they were extremely successful.
How did that, like his presence? I mean, bringing him in as a guy who won a title, went to multiple finals, played for your coach previously. How did that kind of help you at that time, if at all?
No, it definitely did. I mean, his mindset was special. Eddie can probably speak to this, but he just had that mindset of like, he's going at you no matter what game it is, he's trying to kill. And it's always good to be around that mindset because, like I said, you can get complacent through the regular season.
Can I put you on the spot?
Uh-oh.
Maybe. Go ahead.
That locker room, well known for its dysfunction, I would say. Some issues, the Clippers.
I would say that was extremely fabricated. Like, we were very close as a team. Okay. Year after year, as you lose, like, people try to find stuff. There's, we had a guy, I'm not gonna say who it was. We had a guy come to us, play for a year. He had an awful year, left, very disgruntled. Put an article out with some reporter about how we were like we talked about it as a team, like, what was that like? And so when something gets out there like that, now everything's magnified. But like our locker room, and I've talked to JJ, DJ, Jamal Crawford, CP, all these guys were like, yeah, that was like it was like, especially now looking back, you're like, that we were fine. We just lost. We didn't get to that like pinnacle, and no offense, but the media just tries to tear you down, and especially us, because we were, the Lob City, like high flying. We were like showy, I guess. And you
stole Showtime from the Lakers.
Yeah, for a little bit, like 4 years. Yeah, so I truly believe that was definitely blown out of proportion for sure.
Okay, then I won't ask you to compare locker rooms, but how does the media compare in Boston? I feel like Boston media gets a bad rap. I mean, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I was about to say
talk radio.
I mean, it's more talk radio. Like you guys never see. Like they're never coming to practice. They're never coming to the game. The noise is out there.
How do they compare? I mean, I've never really had a big issue with the media.
Probably because you do things like this.
I think maybe Boston media might get a bad rep because you're so used to winning here. Like, it's just true. Like the Patriots and the historically Celtics, the Reds, like Bruins, there's unbelievable teams here. So if you're not playing up to that championship standard that everybody's so used to, then like you can, they can kind of pick you apart. But the thing I appreciate about Boston in general, fans and the media, like they appreciate if you play hard. Like they're smart enough fans to know, like, all right, some games we're not going to hit shots, but like you can't dog it. Like you can't not play hard. Like that's unacceptable. And that's the right mindset to have, in my opinion.
What else have you enjoyed about living in Boston for the first, what is this, like 3 months?
Yeah, since October's.
3 months, and as you know, and we both know, like there's barely any time to like get out and do stuff in the city where you...
Yeah, I mean, obviously besides the team, we've touched on that, the fans, we've touched on that. I think like historically, I mean, this city is like so rich in history, and the food is very good here.
Favorite food spot?
You like Italian?
Love Italian.
You and Joe Mazzulla.
I know, we always see the little coach pod, like when we land in a city, like they go scurry off to dinner, like, and it's always at like, where'd you guys go? Italian. All right, cool. Like, branch out, guys. You guys like sushi, man? Like, we're like in San Antonio, they're like, we found Italian. They're like, all right, well, I'm sure we'll try something else.
Great Italian spot in San Antonio.
It's good Italian, yeah. There's some great spots here. I really enjoyed my time here a lot.
Have you actually gotten out to do anything in the city outside of this?
Outside of like eating?
You guys did have a few days recently.
Yeah, I didn't do much. It was a little under the weather, so those 2 days kind of went out the window. I went to a Boston college football game with
nice.
When I first got here.
I remember that. Yeah, you guys were all down on the field, right?
Bus one, boys.
Oh, rag. Yeah, that's kind of it. But that's like what I like to do during the season.
Anything you want to do in Boston?
I want to see a Red Sox game. I want to see a Bruins game. Patriot. Oh, yeah, that's...
You should do the Freedom Trail.
That's on the list somewhere.
They're going to be like that actor who plays basketball.
Yeah, let's walk in here. A street right there. Saw Paul Revere's house. That was pretty...
You did go and do that in the North End?
Yeah, I saw that.
How about that?
Drove by the old harbor where the ship...
the harbor?
They
do the reenactment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Tea
cool.
party? Yeah.
Other than that, we don't have tons of time, so yeah, I'm just kind of either in the gym or watching games or going to eat.
All right, so we're running out of time here. We've got a few minutes left, but All-Star break is coming up soon. I'm not going to ask what your plans are, but you are very well-versed in All-Star weekend. You're well-versed in the dunk contest. I want to ask you about the dunk contest and not necessarily your experience in winning it back in 2011, but for the guys who go in there each year, just how difficult is it to like brainstorm and think of dunks that have never been done before?
That's the big thing. I mean, the guys, guys have done it. Like the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon dunk contest was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I feel like people just are so hard on the guys that are doing the dunk contest, and it's like, all right, think of something that no one's done that you guys are going to be happy with. And also, like, All-Star weekend, like, the dunk contest, you go in the back and you get to, like, warm up for, like, 15 minutes.
They go in cold and have to...
Out. You wait while the other thing's being done. And come out and you sit there, and then you watch a guy dunk, like, in front of 20,000 people, and, like, then it's your turn. So it's a little bit, like, if you just let guys go out there and do, like, layup line style dunk contests, like, it might be more entertaining. Because it'd just be, like, rapid fire. Guys would be trying stuff, and
Adam Silver listens to this podcast. He's been on this podcast. So.
Has he really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Humble brag.
Yeah, so maybe tell him, maybe tell him, well, first of all, tell him hi.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the there's some great dunk contests, but it's not as like conducive to a great dunking environment that you'd think it was.
So rewinding to your year in it when you won it, how much time did you actually, like, before that weekend? Because you were young at that point. Probably, you're hungry, you're making a name for yourself. So how much time did you put into it?
None.
None?
Well, yeah, and I had the idea to
just put a car out there.
Well, no, I had the idea I told people I wanted to do it. Originally, I wanted to have like a convertible.
Well, yeah.
And have my teammates drive it out. Somebody toss the ball up and jump over like the middle part. NBA was like, no, got to be a Kia.
Obviously.
And they're like, what about the Kia Optima? I'm like, have you guys seen the Kia? It's like a, like to clear the whole thing. I'm like, all right, we'll figure it out. So I decided to do the hood. Baron Davis came out and they tossed it up to me. It's my rookie year. We came off a 7-game road trip. All-Star started Thursday night. We fly in like late Thursday morning, basically. I had an all-star dunk rehearsal because they all wanted to make sure I could make it over the car. So we did.
How long was that?
The rehearsal, not that. I mean, honestly, it was just like them trying to get the car out, positioning. Yeah. So we did that. I did the rookie-sophomore game. So then all Friday, Thursday you have stuff, dunk contest rehearsal. Friday I had stuff, Friday rookie-sophomore game. Saturday I had stuff all day, dunk contest. All-Star game the next day, and then I hit the biggest rookie wall that I could have.
But because at that time,
exhausted.
You didn't have, like, the week-long break hadn't started yet, right?
No, like,
so
games were like,
you're like playing Tuesday or something.
Yeah,
like that was.
We traveled Monday because we had to go back on the road because the All-Star game was in LA. So they couldn't just turn around the arena and just play again on Tuesday. So we went back on the road for 3. It was like 10 straight road games, and I was exhausted.
No one understands, like, All-Star weekend is awesome. It's great for the fans. It's great for the players too. But like, you guys do so much because it's not just the games and everything like that you just described, but you're also probably out doing stuff for your partners.
Right.
You're going and seeing people. Maybe you go to a couple parties.
Exactly. You have family out. You want to spend time with them.
It's like
it's gotten better
every
now.
Single minute.
Like guys now in 2019.
It's pre-pandemic.
I was in Charlotte for that All-Star game. And like, we didn't have to come in as early. Guys don't come in. So like some guys flew in Saturday morning, which is nice. I think they've gotten better about that. But yeah, it was just like
media for everything. Like at that time, you probably had to do separate media for the dunk contest.
Yeah, you have to do media for all 3 things, and you have to do community service for all 3 things. Plus like
you earned your paycheck.
The events. Yeah, didn't really get paid, to be honest with that, which is another thing.
Adam,
so is that why it's so hard to get guys to do the dunk contest?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like if you're just going to go do the dunk contest, like that eats up most of your weekend. And then you have 3 days, 2 days after that. So I think it's kind of hard to get guys. Like they just want time with their family. They want time to relax. And, I know it's for the fans, but, so the season is pretty grueling as it is. So anytime you can get a break, you should take it.
All right. So All-Star break is coming up. Going to have 30 some odd games after the break. Last question for you. What do you guys need to do for the remainder of the regular season to make sure you're prepped and ready to go for when we really hit what matters? And that's with game 1 of the NBA playoffs sometime in mid-April against a team to be determined.
I think just stay hungry. Like this mindset that these guys have now, and we have like every day we come to practice or going into games is special, and we just can't lose that. I don't see us losing that, but we're that's why we're there. Al does a great job. That's why guys like us are there to remind the guys like every game counts. We're not taking games off. Some guys need rest. Some guys get injured, but we're not taking games off.
All right. Can everyone give Blake Griffin? Yeah, no. Well, that's live. I'm going to take a couple.
Hardest working people.
Yes, let's go. Man, I'm going to feel so good.
There's your validation, Mark. Good looking with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Blake.
Thank you, Blake. Was this, have we immediately risen to the top of your podcast rankings?
You guys are up there. Man.
Fishing. Mark.
Hey, but keep working. Stay hungry.
Yeah.
Stay humble.
Hungry.
Stay humble, too. All right, Blake, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone.